Hey guys, Turret here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on a road to Kharkov. Spawning in the south, playing for the Soviet Union is ihitto, a Korean player. Spawning in the north is Gentlefox, also a Korean player, playing for the OKW. And he has selected Elite Armored straight away. After a bit of that Sturm Tiger goodness, as you can see, he's got 3 Sturm Tiger reload bulletins. So there's no secret what he's going to try and achieve. He does have the slightly tougher spawn. North spawn is harder on this map. This cutoff is a lot easier to access and there's a lot of heavy cover around it. This is a bit harder to access, no heavy cover until you construct it yourself. He's just putting that down there to maybe try to slow down movements for kind of harassment.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
All is quiet on the front lines at the moment. Do see a Kubel here from Gentlefox. Trying to find a target to suppress. We'll find these conscripts shortly.
We are taking fire!
Looks like they're going to jump in this garrison. They beat these Volksrangers to the garrison in fact. Sturm Pioneers here though, joining in on the fun, and those conscripts are really just stalling for time here. Combat engineers just trying to maybe finish this cat. More conscripts arriving for support.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Conscripts vaulting, we're going to jump in that garrison. So it looks like ihitto is sending all of his conscripts over this side of the map. And he has gone for a 3 conscript, 2 combat engineer build so far. I wouldn't usually see tech structure being built with that 2nd combat engineer, but not for ihitto.
We're builders, not killers. Why are they shooting at us?
In fact, I think he did end up retreating that squad that was fresh on the field to build that tech structure. I guess he sent his rally point up here somewhere. Sturm Pioneers taking heaps of damage, and they're going to be out of commission for a while, receiving reinforcements. Also, his Kubel's getting quite low. Got to be careful now that the Sturm Pioneers are out of commission. These conscripts getting super close. Main gun destroyed. Oh, he's just roaring away to safety here. Luckily, he does manage to get away. There's actually a slight bug with the game currently.
Comrades, we have now installed a field hospital.
When light vehicles get down to under a quarter health from a small arms fire, they actually always receive main gun destroyed. Part of the reason why the quad mountain is so powerful at the moment, because every time it gets a vehicle down to quarter health, it will cause it to have main gun destroyed. That's what we got to see there. Small arms fire from the conscripts causing main gun destroyed on the Kubel. Conscripts there forced away and getting quite low on health. See Maxim under production now for ihitto. Looks like he wants to come and put some pressure on this cutoff here. He's got some partially constructed sandbags, but now decides to just completely disengage. Interesting choice. And he is indeed gone for tier 2, so that means no scout car, which is generally what you see against OKW. Him playing Soviet, and he's actually Pretty much going to have to retreat from all fronts at the moment. Maxim should definitely help him re-establish his hold on the battlefield though. See a shoe mine going down out here, not a bad spot for it. Perhaps anticipating a dive from a M5 with quad mount.
Supply sector under attack. Engineers taking losses.
Combat engineers just trying to stall these Fox grenadiers. Doing alright there behind the light cover. These guys are out on open ground. Probably going to lose this engagement though. Oh, especially with the grenade being dispensed. Oh, and that's a wipe in fact. So first wipe of the game there. No real reason for that to happen. ihitto sending the Maxim down the right hand flank. We do see second set of Stern Pioneers now rumbling onto the field for Gentlefox. That's an interesting build. 3 Volks and then a second Stern Pioneer. Has gone for the battle group, so I'll not be using any of the light vehicles, at least in the early game, from the mechanised regiment. Now he's trying to apply some pressure here to ihitto. He's cut off, and it looks like he's going to be successful. ihitto's just doing some capping on these resource points. Here comes some shock troops, and that means shock rifle frontline has been selected from ihitto. And they're going to try to shut down this harassment of the cutoff, I believe, but here comes the Kubel. And they're sitting right in front of the Kubel. He deploys smoke to try and get into close range, but maybe outgunned. Stern Pioneers, Volks and Kubel. Kubel tries to backpedal to a safe distance. Troops running around there with a bit of pathing issues. Here comes second set of Stern Pioneers. These common engineers are going to have to retreat. Kubel needs to switch targets to the shocks right now. In fact, the shocks decide to disengage. Interesting choice. And this is actually nicely done here from ihitto. He's actually cut off this sector, so by Gentlefox. So ihitto is actually not benefiting from having capped these 2 resource points. It's pretty much cut-offs all around for both players. We see that Gentlefox is using most of his munitions on mines, perhaps expecting the quad mount, and deploying some mines as his main line of defense, which is actually a pretty good idea. But ihitto is being very slow with his tech. Generally you see somebody tick, but he's actually gone for another Maxim. So, very infantry heavy build here from ihitto. Not going to make use of the extremely strong quad mount half track. Also needs to get some sweepers. There's some common engineer squads. At the very least some flamethrowers. I mean, he's got so much munitions at the moment. He needs to spend them. Shock troops getting to close range on these Stern Pioneers. Now trying to get into their retreat path. You're going to get away on 2 models though. Yeah, once more you see the Kubel from small arms. Second main gun destroyed there. Shoe mine goes off. Looks like it only took out 1 conscript though. That's not what you want to have happen. Nice Maxim positioning there, forcing away those Volks. You see that Gentlefox has put down his next tech structure, Schwer, and this rather defensive position does cover this victory point though. Suppression being exchanged from both sides. Shock troops trying to come down the flank here, run over another shoe mine. That's alright, 3 shock squad members. That's decent return on that investment. Maxim here showing its worth. Quick setup time. Making it very versatile. But nice move from Gentlefox there, once more cutting off this fuel income from ihitto. He needs to, because ihitto does have that one under his control. He did regain control of his cut-off once more. Do see sweepers now. And finally, tech structure. As you can see, from the amount of fuel he has and the amount of fuel it takes to get any of these vehicles, rather late with his tech. Sometimes it's a trade-off you need to make. If you try and tech up too fast, you may lose control of the map and not be able to recover. My general feeling is get the quad out as fast as you can every time. Let it work its magic. Mine going down here. Just not quite completed though. It's about 95% done. Just need a second more of those engineers' attention to finish the job there. So ihitto does have just a massive surplus of fuel coming in right now. He's going for an SU-76. I suppose he could go 2 SU-76s and try push down this Shred HQ. That is a feasible strategy and not a bad one, especially when you support with these Maxims. They can keep the infantry at bay, and if the SU-76s make use of their long range to blast away at that HQ. Gentlefox has also got some minesweepers now on his stern pioneers. Grenade going off. Not dodged, but didn't do too much damage. Here's the SU-76, but also here's the Raketenwerfer. Not on prioritised vehicles, now is. Maxim's working on that squad there. Bit of chaos at the moment. SU-76 is leading with its rear end, not the best strategy. Takes a Raketenwerfer shot there, decides to disengage. Kugel in a nice position for some suppression. SU-76 trying to barrage the Raketenwerfer. Barrage shots are off target. Grenades off target also. All of ihitto stuff now resting in base, receiving some repairs. So Gentlefox has a few options now. He could go for a Jagdpanzer shortly to try and keep these SU-76s at bay, or he could just try bank up for the Stern Tiger, just play only infantry from here on. And his fuel control has really been quite bad so far, so maybe he will just try save up straight for the Stern Tiger. Only 4 command points away, not too far. That being said, no more command points really going to arrive from ticking up, so it's all going to have to come from combat from here on out, and it may take some time. You see both sides choosing to get some indirect fire. ihitto going for a mortar and an ISG from Gentlefox. SU-76 kind of looks like it's just blasting away at this wall more than anything. This Maxim continues to lock down this fuel. Stern Pioneers out here doing some capping, trying to avoid demo charges with their sweepers. Nice positioning of that Rakedenwerfer. SU-76 is in a bit of trouble here. Takes 2 shots. Has to disengage. Rakedenwerfer advances, so do the Obersoldaten.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Machine gun ready.
This Maxim was deployed here to try and prevent those Stern Pioneers advancing, but really needs to be down here to try and stop ihitto's advance.
The enemy have cut off a sector.
Shock troops here causing all sorts of trouble for the Stern Pioneer. He really wants to knock out that Kerbal, but he's just not having any luck. Obers are just dicing through his conscripts. Down go the Stern Pioneers though. Shock troops try and close range on the Obers. Obers trying to knock out those conscripts on retreat. This is going to be a close one here. Oh, out goes a grenade in their retreat path. Interesting idea. Didn't quite come off though. ISG firing away at this Maxim. Just have a bit of cover here though. Oh, nice mortar shell there. Wow. Mortar up to 3 kills now. Caveat has been deployed by ihitto. That's most of his fuel now though. So he's really going to make sure he hangs on to his fuel if he wants to deploy an IS-2 when that command point ticker rolls around. Caveat moving to the side, and actually Gentlefox isn't going to wait for the Stern Tiger. He's actually going to go for a Panzer IV. And that will keep the KV-8 on its toes. So only having the SU-76 to really battle against that. KV-8 can switch to the 45mm gun, or the pea shooter, as I like to refer to it as. But it's really only going to penetrate the rear armour of an OKW Panzer IV. Here it comes. Fully loaded with the armoured skirts. And ihitto's not in the best spot to try and deal with this Panzer IV. Doesn't have many mines down there I've seen. Doesn't have a ZIS, only one SU-76. So this Panzer IV could cause some issues. Looks like he's going to try and knock out the Schwer though. KV-8 is extremely good at knocking out tech structures. As you can see by how quickly that's going down. No Stern Pioneers nearby for repairs. I think he's going to get this one down. May lose his KV-8 for the troubles though. Here comes the Panzer IV from the north. The Rakedenwerfer fails to penetrate. SU-76 needs to about face him. Here it does. Infantry's just battling at the front. I think ihitto's just trying to buy a bit of time for all those tanks to retreat. No, here comes SU-76 getting up close and personal. Incendiary barrage deployed, but kind of spread more to the back. Nice work from the Kubel, suppressing those shock troops and, or pinning the shock troops and suppressing the conscripts. Looks like SU-76 retreats for a barrage, gets a nice hit off. Doesn't do much damage though. Trick squad's on the prowl for the SU-76. Is that a... No, he merged his conscripts into the shock troops. So he really wants to keep those shocks on the front line. They're still suppressed though. Here they go, finally out of suppression. Panzer IV only down to half health though. Rakedenwerfer about faces to blast away at the KV-8. KV-8's in a bit of trouble here. Panzer IV is trying to knock it out. No, he manages to round the corner there. Shrek only has a chance to penetrate the front arm of the KV-8, and it does! There goes the KV-8. Whoa, what just went down over there? Kugelwagen. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it was a stray mortar shell. That was unexpected. Plenty of action, large sequence of action. It looks like ihitto lost one squad of conscripts And he is down one squad of comm engineers as well. I'm not sure if that went down in that fight. On the other side, it looks like we've lost one squad of Volks, which has been repurchased by Gentlefox. And of course, his Cougar wagon.
Combat engineers are standing by.
We have it.
So, I mean, it comes down to Schwer HQ versus KV8. What's more valuable? After tax, KV8's still maybe slightly more expensive, so it's probably your answer, but it is going to deny Gentlefox any more Obersoldaten or another Panzer IV, if that's the way he chooses to go. So as I said, he's probably going to go for the Sturmtiger, though, having so many Sturmtiger bulletins and selected elite armor.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Obertron over a mine there. Yeah, we'll lose to this Maxim behind cover.
Half-track has been assigned to our forces.
ihitto has done such a good job, though, having control of both fuels for a large period of time, even though quite often he's been cut off here.
We are losing territory.
He's pretty much made this fuel his own, which is quite impressive. C-76 on full health, returns to the front lines. Here comes the quad mount, finally. C-76 just trying to path, having a few issues.
Has been cut off.
Misses that first shot. Whoops. Penetrates on that shell. Where's the quad mount? Where's the quad mount go? Quad mount's over here. It's kind of in the firing line of this Panzer IV now. Genweaver's positioning itself over there, is backing off in fact.
Sector is at risk.
Mortar, just a slight issue there. I don't know why he just ran that straight into all of Gentlefox's troops. It was a
Supply lines have been cut.
odd decision. Also, I feel it's slightly odd for ihitto to go with the quad mount. Personally, would have tried to save the fuel and go for the IS-2. And maybe built as this instead. But it will offer good support for his team weapons, of which he doesn't have as many now that the
We have 200 points.
mortar is long gone. If we look at victory points, Gentlefox has managed to hold on to these 2 victory points for most of the game, and as a result, ihitto is down to 190 VPs to Gentlefox's 440. That is one thing slightly to the advantage of the north. It seems to be easier to hold on to that VP there in the centre. Well, there is this, but he got super reckless with it, and what is going on here? ihitto's just suiciding his team weapons. Now, what is he doing? Where is that going? He's going on a tiki tour. There he goes, finally heading in the right direction. Oh, so he's using reverse on that. Is this? Rather than just right clicking it. Oh, I thought that was going to set off that mine there. Close, close, but no cigar.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Gentlefox getting mighty close to the Sturmtiger. Panzer IV, how's that doing? 19 kills. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's actually really good. Of course, going for elite armor, he can use the heat shells.
Our territory
Increase
is
its
falling into enemy
lethality
hands.
against tanks.
sector.
ISG just keeping a bit of pressure on this Maxim here. And ihitto's feeling the heat continuously being cut off. Double Maxims though deployed on the left. It's going to make it very hard for Gentlefox to advance. Oh, I think that Maxim's going to go down here to these Obers. Looks like Obers switched target to the combat engineers though, and will actually manage to retreat. Combat engineers may not be so lucky. Oh man, he's so lucky. Like 3 of those mods were reloading there. Managed to get away. SU-6 blasting away, but this Panzer 2's up to Vet 2. I mean, Panzer 4's up to Vet 2. Quad mount sounds like it ran over a mine, maybe? No, looks like it went down to a Raketenwerfer. Raketenwerfer and Shrek. Panzer 4's in a lot of trouble here. It's taking fire from this, and the SU-6 has now got a damaged engine. SU-6 failing to penetrate. Does heaps of damage to that conscript squad. Sturm Tiger's positioning itself for a shot. Way over the mark though. SU-6 can't penetrate though. He just cannot penetrate. Mutual assured destruction there. Beautiful to see. Both tanks go down simultaneously to each other's shells, but now we've got the big boys on the field. Sturm Tiger versus IS-2. And IS-2 is off to a good start there, wiping that Raketenwerfer. And he's actually trying to destroy that with the IS-2's cannon. Gentlefox has got quite a lot of munitions in the bank. May use that reload bug. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of rockets flying at the IS-2 here. Oh man, this thing's not having much luck at hitting any of these infantry. There we go. Knocks out that Raketenwerfer. Needs to pull back for some repairs, and that's nice that ihitto has rebuilt that second combat engineering squad. It's helped speed repairs. And he's actually gone for a third one, so he's really relying on his IS-2 on the front lines. Wants to minimise the downtime on that to as little as he can.
Engineers ready for assignment.
In fact, if the IS-2 takes Sturm Tiger shell here though, it will go down.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
And that may be what we were about to see.
Incendiary artillery is now available.
IS-2 trying to fire on the Sturm Tiger. All these shrieked up squads suppressed by the Maxim. IS-2 on the rear armor of the Sturm Tiger. What's the Sturm Tiger doing? Oh, he's backing off with the IS-2. Will the Sturm Tiger fire? Will the IS-2 penetrate? No, fails to kill it though. I thought he might knock it out with that shell. That was Raketenwerfer's doing a lot of damage to the IS-2. That needs to pull back for repairs. All this stuff's getting diced up here by the Maxims.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
I'm not sure what happened with the Sturm Tiger there. Maybe it bugged out. It just sat there not doing anything. He was trying to fire it on that Maxim, but... well, not that Maxim, the retreating Maxim. But... it didn't quite work out.
Sector is secured.
S2's back here receiving repairs, but he needs all hands on deck, all combat engineers, maximum repair mode. Extremely low on victory points now. Has managed to cap this VP though. Slowing the clock. Here comes the Raketenwerfer with strict support, and IS-2's abandoned. Looks like he's going to crew it with his combat engineers. Bounces that shot, doesn't bounce that shot though. And ihitto's going to call GG there. He's just about out of victory points. No chance of calling in another IS-2. Storm Tiger's still alive, so he calls GG. Bit of an unusual match that. Didn't see a quad mount rush, which is strange. And got to saw the perils of doing some frontline repairs on your most valuable tank. Doesn't always work out well. I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.